Welcome to Market Matters. I'm Lynn, joined today by Sulhi Azman. We are now on to stocks with momentum, brought to you by the Edge Research. We have two, and the first one is called BP Plastics Holding Berhad. This is a stock that's been flagged with positive momentum, despite its shares actually currently trading at a 5-year high. Volume today about 1.6 million shares. So this company is actually Batu Pahat based, and it actually manufactures and trades stretch and shrink films.
Right, okay, but BP Plastic today closed up less than 1% today at 1.18 ringgit. You know, BP Plastics, right, you know, they are plastic companies. I think they are very strong beneficiary of the US dollars, correct, William? And I think you also went and talked briefly with the MD about that.
Yeah, that's right. At the end of last year, I did an email interview with the MD, Mr. Lim Chun Yao. So back then, he said that the company is investing about 13 billion ringgit into a new multi-layer stretch film machine to boost its capacity because it's actually anticipating higher export demand. So this particular machine can actually produce thinner and stronger quality stretch films, and hence it actually fetches better pricing and margin. I
mean, at the moment, the production capacity, sorry about that, is about 6,500 tons per month. And I think with the new capacity coming in, you know, exports accounted for 80% of their earnings for the first half. You know, that could do well and do well for them, I suppose.
That's right. So this particular new machine is actually commissioned in June already. And clearly, BP Plastics, like you mentioned, low raw material costs such as resin, which is actually tied to crude oil prices, and also higher USD is actually boding well for the company because its second quarter net profit rose 36% and its first half net profit rose 22%.
And if you look at the quarterly earnings as well, you know, revenue down 10.6%, but then the net profit was, you know, up, as you said earlier, 37.5%. You know, I think the shares has been rising. I mean, I think the plastics company looks promising. I know our colleague Jonathan Gunn loves plastic companies. You know, he's been interviewing SCGM and many other companies.
Well, they are riding the wave right now of all, like you mentioned, low material costs and all. But we have to move on to the next stocks momentum. We have Focus Lumber Berhad. So the shares is also trading at a 5-year high, and despite this, the Edge Research is still flagging it with a positive momentum. Volume of 4.2 million shares. So what Focus Lumber does is actually Sabah-based, and it actually manufactures plywood.
Oh, plywood. Okay, if you look in the, I mean, they are definitely strong beneficiary of the US dollars because 65% of the sales in FY14 was in the US, goes to the US, and the rest are spread out to other countries as well. I think, you know, Insider Asia likes the stock because it has a fairly consistent earnings, strong balance sheet, as well as attractive dividend yields.
Speaking of the balance sheet, I had a quick look at its June 30th numbers. So it has a net cash of 85 million ringgit, and this is actually almost half of its market cap. It's been increasing actually, the net cash, and second quarter net profit rose 126% because it says that the sales for shipment to USA, which was not previously recognized in the previous quarter due to delays, is actually recognizing it now.
I see.
And you see better numbers.
And I think it is also stand to benefit from the US housing market recovery, and you know, and I think it would bode well for Focus Lumbers. It's a fairly small company, very unheard of, but I think, you know, the Edge Research said that there are positive momentum. The shares are close today, 3%, up 3% at 1.74 ringgit.
To take away, we have two stocks with momentum today, positive, BP Plastics as well as Focus Lumber. So despite the shares of these two companies currently trading at a 5-year high, BP Plastics, which makes stretch films, and Focus Lumber, which makes plywood, are beneficiaries of the stronger US dollar.